What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about bugging in and bugging out during a potential SHTF situation. But really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also make sure to subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel. If you're a prepper, you should understand why I have one. Link in the description. And if you want to support my channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. We got t-shirts and hoodies, and a bunch of which are being sold to raise funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merch can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. But sitting here in front of me, I have a couple different things that I want to talk about for a reason. When it comes to prepping, when it comes to prepping for whatever it is that you're prepping for, when it comes to the potential bugging out situation or bugging in situation, obviously we're stacking food, obviously we're stacking water, obviously we're stacking self-defense tools, obviously we're stacking equipment and medical supplies and money and things that we know for a fact that we are going to need during an SHTF emergency situation. But one thing that often goes overlooked by a majority of preppers that I've come across is this right here, and it's been talked about by very few people. I have not heard many people mention this before, so I figured this is probably something to talk about. Combating boredom during a potential SHTF situation, whether you're bugging in, you're probably not going to be spending 8, 9, 10, 11 hours at work. You're probably going to be stuck in your house for an extended period of time. You're going to be on your property. You're not going to be going out. You're not going to be doing this, not going to be doing that. Or if you're bugging out, you're probably going to be stuck in maybe a hotel room or a friend or family member's house, or even worse, scarier than that, maybe you're going to be stuck in your vehicle, stuck in the tent. Who knows? But you're probably not going to be moving around a whole lot. You're probably going to be stuck in the same spot for who knows how long. And I think it's pretty important to take things like this into consideration, because during a potential SHTF situation, you might not have electricity, you might not have your TV, you might not have internet, you might not have YouTube, you might not have all the luxuries that we have for the most part. So there are 3 things sitting here in front of me that I want to talk about that I think are maybe not absolutely mandatory, but very, very, very important to have in your bug out or bug in bag, or just have on hand, just in case something bad were to happen. So the first thing I want to talk about is board games. It doesn't matter which one you're using, but board games in general. I'll give you a quick little example of how simple and how fun they can be. Reason for that is because a couple years ago, a bunch of friends and we would have something called game night. On Friday nights, we would go out. On Saturday nights, we would stay in, and every one of us would buy maybe 1 or 2 board games each, and we would rotate. So every week, we would be playing a different board game. And the best one that I can recommend is not one that I have on hand, but Monopoly. The reason I say this is because that game can go for hours and hours and hours long. You know, during a bug out or bug in situation, one of the main things that you're going to be wanting to do is kill time. You want to make time go by faster. You're going to need a way to entertain yourself. You're going to need a way to entertain kids. I don't even want to think about how bad that would be. It'd be bad enough dealing with myself for an extended period of time with absolutely nothing to do, being stuck inside. Imagine having kids around. So board games are definitely a way to go, and Monopoly, not only did that take hours and hours and hours to complete, but sometimes it took several days. We would have to wait until the following Saturday just to finish the game. So I definitely recommend Monopoly, or just board games in general. I will link Monopoly in the description. Second thing I want to talk about is books. Books are absolutely crucial for a variety of reasons. Number 1, entertainment purposes. If you don't have a TV to watch, at least you'll have books to read. Number 2, it kills time. By the time you get through 2 or 3 chapters of a book, you're going to be like, wow, a couple hours went by. You could kill the whole book if you want. That's probably a good chunk of the day for you. And number 3, it's probably the best way of keeping your mind sharp, the best way to keep your mind on point, and it's the best way of, you know, gathering information. Like I said, if you don't have internet, if you don't have TV, you might not have many other ways of acquiring information. So I have a little bit of a library that I built for myself. I have like over 50 books, and I have 3 sitting here in front of me, and that's because I have 1 from each category. My entire library consists of either 1, personal development, like how to win friends and influence people; 2, things about business, money, finance, wealth preservation, like the collapse of the dollar and how to profit from it; and 3, it would be something that preppers would feel like it would really come in handy, something that could entertain and educate preppers. For example, The Matrix. I think these 3 books are a really good starting point, so if you want any of the 3, I will absolutely link them in the description if you want to get one for yourself. And third, and finally, I want to talk about this right here. This is actually the reason that I'm making the video right here. Yeah, look at it. It's a deck of cards. Nothing crazy, nothing special about them. It's a deck of cards. But this is actually a very, very special deck of cards because not only is it a deck of cards, it's a waterproof deck of cards. When you're bugging out, when you're bugging in during an emergency situation, during SHTF, who knows if you're going to be escaping your house while it's flooding? Who knows if your stuff is going to get wet? I'm a big believer in putting maybe clothes in vacuum sealable bags. Not only does it kind of reduce the size and bulk, but it keeps it safe from water damage. Your clothes and your stuff isn't going to get wet if it's in a vacuum sealable bag. So when it comes to cards, I think it's really cool because a deck of cards, obviously, you know, water damage, there goes the entire deck of cards. This is a waterproof deck of cards. I paid about $5 and maybe 65 cents or something like that for them, and they're really cool. They're really awesome. They are flexible, but they're not flimsy and fragile. They're easy to clean, they're easy to shuffle, and at the very least, it doesn't have to be raining outside, it doesn't have to be flooding your house for these to come in handy. It's a deck of cards. You can play whatever you want. You can play solitaire by yourself, you could play poker, you could play whatever card game you could think of that you can play with one deck of cards. And it's pretty cool because it comes with this little case. I thought it was pretty cool. So I think a deck of cards would be a really smart thing to toss in your bug out bag. Whether you plan on bugging out or you plan on bugging in, I think it's a really smart idea to have a deck of cards. And the reason I say that is because, once again, you're going to need a way to entertain yourself. You're going to need a way to entertain maybe the family members or the friends that you're bugging out with, or if you're bugging in, whatever the situation is. Me personally, I do not plan on bugging out unless my house is on fire or underwater or it's about to be one of those two. If that's not happening, I'm bugging in. But still, if you're bugging in, you're still going to need board games. You're still going to need books. You're still going to need a deck of cards. So once again, I will be linking Monopoly, these 3 books, and this specific waterproof deck of cards in the description section down below. Amazon affiliate links if you want to go check them out. I'm not a sales representative for any of these things, so if you have any questions, you got to contact the seller via Amazon. But if you have any questions for me, I encourage you to leave them in the comment section down below. Like I said, this right here was less than $6. I think it'll last forever as far as I'm concerned. So if you want some board games, if you want some books, if you want a waterproof deck of cards for an emergency situation, as I always say, it's better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. And all of these things can fit in a bug out bag. Especially these right here. Maybe you don't want to carry around board games with you, but I think it's definitely a smart thing to have on hand. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to subscribe for new videos every single day, 365 days a year. If you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, I have it for a reason. It's just in case. It's my backup channel. If you are a prepper, you should understand why that is. Link in the description. If you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, we have t-shirts and hoodies and a bunch of gear that's raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. It helps out in way more ways than you would ever even imagine. So thank you in advance. Once again, if you want to get a board game, if you want to get some books, if you want to get a waterproof deck of cards, the Amazon affiliate links will be linked in the description. Go and grab one if you want one, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments. What are you prepping for? What does SHTF mean to you? A lot of people have, obviously it stands for the same thing, but depending on who you ask, everybody seems to have a little bit of a different definition for it. So in your mind, in your head, what does SHTF mean to you? What do you think of when you hear SHTF? What do you picture? What do you envision happening? And also, how are you prepping? What are you prepping? What are you stacking? Are you stacking money? Are you stacking food, water, medical supplies, emergency equipment? Let me know in the comment section down below, as well as how do you plan on combating boredom during a potential SHTF situation, whether you're bugging in or bugging out. Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.